that. So, first question, Lincoln Journal-Star, Parker Gabriel. Go ahead, Parker.
Hey Barrett, I'm curious. Obviously, you've got two seniors in your room. And what will it take for the guys behind, maybe starting with Nick Henrich and Luke Reimer, for you to feel good about them, putting them on the field against Ohio State in a couple weeks? And what have you seen from them so far in camp?
Yeah, no, good question. Honestly, practice execution. That's all it is right there. I got a lot of confidence in those two guys. Nick was a little bit banged up the off season, but now he's feeling a lot better. And Luke's been very good since the day he got here as well. So got a lot of confidence in both of those guys as well. The older guy's doing a great job, but I feel really good about my room as a whole.
Just as a quick follow-up with Luke, is he a guy? Is he a future scholarship guy? Has that already happened? Where is he sort of at in that conversation?
I believe it's already happened. I don't know if I want to supposed to speak out of turn or the head coach to say that, but yeah, I'm sure that's already happened. He was a guy that after going through his first couple shuffle drills as a true freshman walk-on, I figured that wasn't going to take very long, and he's been nothing but great to be around, and he's improved every single day he's been here.
Husker Online, Sean Callahan.
With Nick, have you guys looked or toyed with him at all at outside linebacker at this point?
We've thought about it a little bit for sure, as maybe necessary depth, and as a way to get another really good football player on the field. We haven't made any final decisions or nothing like that, but he's primarily worked inside so far, but he would definitely, if needed, have the ability to play outside, if we needed to.
And then those two starters, how much more confidence do you have now that this is the third year they've been with you at Nebraska?
Yeah, it's been really good. I think, the fact that they've both had 3 years in the system now, Will's a full year and, year and a half removed from that ACL injury. Colin has had, like you said, pretty much a full 3 years now, learning inside linebacker as opposed to outside linebacker. So their comfort levels very high at that spot, and as well as me. They know what I expect of them now, and they attack each day pretty well.
Nebraska 24/7, Brian Christopherson.
Hey, Barrett, I'm sure it's difficult for any newcomer like Malga Clements with this weird off season, but where is he at? Where a guy like him who, he hasn't got the practices in, how close could he be to contributing with the circumstances, I guess?
Yeah, the tough part for guys like that is they just haven't had the amount of practices in pads that we would have liked. And that's the biggest thing. I think, Va did a good job coming in and learned as much as he can basically through the virtual teaching classes. He was every one of those, learning through Zoom. But there's nothing like doing it with pads on and doing it, full speed, taking guys to the ground. So, he did a good job learning basically chalkboard defense. Now he just got to, match up all our techniques with what the X's and O's are.
Thanks, Barrett.
No problem.
Hale Varsity, Derek Peterson.
Hey Barrett, I was going to ask about Luke Reimer too. What are some specific areas that you've seen him improve, and how does he factor into a rotation? Like, do you want to have 4 guys for those 2 inside backer spots, 5 guys? Like, what do you want the rotation to look like this fall?
Well, I'll start with, as far as rotation, you want as many able bodies as possible. With Big Ten play in general, let alone a Big Ten only conference season, and with the way our offense plays and the speed they play at, typically on defense we're getting between 80 and 90 plays, where if you look at like a normal NFL game, that's more like 60, 65 plays. So ideally you don't want to just have to play 2 guys. You want to be able to play 3 to 4, maybe even 5 guys, to keep guys fresh, keep guys injuries free. And I think that really contributes to success over the long haul during a Big Ten season. As far as Luke, with him, it's just continually learning the intricacies of the defense. He's got, as far as athleticism, he's about as athletic as any guy we got in our team. He's got as good of a motor as anybody on our team's got. He's very similar to like a Luke McCaffrey type. With some guys are able to run 40 yards once really fast, and some guys are able to run 40 yards 50 straight times really fast. And that's the kind of motor he's got. So he's done a great job since he's been here, and I think he's only getting better and better.
Got requests for 3 more here for Barrett, so we'll take those. Sam McEwen, Omaha World Herald.
Hey, Barrett, thanks for talking to us today. I really appreciate it. Can you assess the play of your inside linebackers last year? How well do you think they played? And what do you feel like that group as a whole had to get better at coming from 2019 to 2020?
You know, in all honesty, Sam, I thought our inside group was a little bit of a reflection of our overall season. I think it was a little bit up and down. I thought when we were good, I thought they played very good. I thought when we didn't have good games, our group usually didn't have good games. You know, and you always look at yourself first, trying to fine-tune little things, little teaching points that could have made things simpler, made things easier. One thing I've been really happy with as a group, and I think, you know, when you got 2 seniors that are in your room and have played a lot of football, they understand the expectations and they understand what the standard needs to be. And for them, it's just going to be how high of a level can you operate every single day. And I think that's where we're still trying to get to as a program overall, is how high is the competition each day that you come to practice, because, you know, football is just a big game of habits. That's all it is. And when your habits are really, really good, the product shows on the field. And that's where we're getting to. I thought last year it was probably too up and down overall. And I thought my guys were, you know, a little bit on that up and down path. I thought too much. So I'm looking for overall consistency. And really that starts with day-to-day habits.
Was there a particular thing that you wanted to see them get better at, whether it was pass coverage or taking on blocks or reading plays, that you feel like they've made progress in, even over the summer and the early part of this camp?
You know, I think it always starts with linebackers, striking blocks and tackling. That's where everything starts with. You got to fill the linebackers when it comes to tackling. And I think we've made some little tweaks here and there in the scheme to make it a little bit, I wouldn't say easier to tackle, but they understand leverage a little bit better. And we're doing a little bit better job teaching them where their help's coming from, and that helps you tackle. Whenever you got to tackle somebody that's a really good player in a lot of space with no help, that's hard to do, even if you're an all-pro player. But when you know where your help is, you understand exactly what angle to take. It lets you play faster, it lets you play more sure with yourself. And those guys have really done a nice job of understanding those little principles. And I think the tackling is going to be, you know, a consequence of it. They're going to be a little bit better tacklers because of it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Mitch Sherman, The Athletic.
Hey, Barrett. I hope you're well. You now that you've had the pads on for a few days, you're in a unique position as a coach to actually have seen this offense schemed against it a little bit. What do you think? What do you think of their physicality up front? The way the quarterbacks look? What's your assessment through a couple days?
Yeah, I think they've been good. You know, I think when we talk about the quarterbacks, Luke and Adrian have both been really sharp. Not only throwing the ball, but with decision making, pulling the ball in the run game too. I think they're executing. It's always been a very versatile offense, but I think it's becoming a little bit more precise as well. And I think they're really getting good at their core plays that they're going to hang their hat on this year. So I've really liked what I've seen from the offense. It's always been a very multiple offense. Got to defend a lot of formations and personnel groupings. But I think the precision has picked up even a little bit more this year, and it's been good for us to see as a defense.
Last one for Barrett, Kevin Suits, Channel 1011.
Hi, Barrett. Thanks again for doing this. Like the other guys said, I wanted to ask you about the group of players that were in your position room that were the lead plaintiffs on the lawsuit to the Big Ten. How did you see them manage that period of time? It was about a month long. Behaviorally, how were they during that stretch?
Well, the good part is they must have been pretty stress-free because I didn't see a lot of tension in them. I think one thing I give our guys a lot of credit for, and I give their folks a lot of credit for, is there's a lot of good people in our room, and they believe what they believe and they do things the right way. All the people on that list had really good parents, and they do the right thing all the time. And I think Coach Frost does a great job setting an example of this program. And if you believe in something, he tells you should fight for it. And that's what those guys did, and that's what their folks did as well. So what you saw there with that whole group was, highly respected individuals that come from really good families. And because of that, I think they were pretty stress-free because I knew they were doing, in their minds, the right thing.
Great. Okay, thank you, Barrett.
Okay, thanks guys.
We'll have Coach Tuioti here in just a second.